Good morning. Happy Thursday. So, last night NVIDIA's earnings were up 44% from Q4, which really pumped the market. When I checked the daily at 9 p.m., it was one giant boner candle. I guess the earnings really pumped us up past that 6,000 level, which we were struggling to break. But we didn't really go much. We touched it once, we came down, we touched it again, and then we came down. So we've kind of been dumping since London high. We've got some good session liquidity here if we do come back for it. But otherwise, on the 4-hour time frame, we are within a 4-hour fair value gap on both NQ and ES. And with our really bullish market structure, I find that those 4-hour fair value gaps and the daily fair value gaps really pump us. So we'll have to wait till the 10 a.m. candle to see if we close below, but I don't know if I'm really expecting that right now. You guys all know that I wanted us to come down and fill this gap before we made that new high, but the NVIDIA earnings really pushed us up last night. So the market does whatever it wants. All we can do is react. So let's get it today. Now we can take a look at our bookmap levels. And we can see, so right here at VWAP, so let me just pull this up here, okay. So right here at VWAP, 6.5, oh my VWAP is different today. We have some orders sitting there, and then we also have these huge orders down here at 3.5, which we haven't touched yet. So let me just pull up one more thing. My NQ Discord book map, just to take a look at the levels there. But I don't really find the levels on NQ to be helpful. Most of our session liquidities are in ES book map. Yeah, so I'm not seeing much heat above or below price on NQ. But on ES, we've got this huge level here. So 3.5, which is about here. And you can see that the orders are stacked between here and here. And if we look at this one, this 225 level here, we can see that that white line is all the way over to the side, which tells us that that's an algo order. And if we look at that 3.5 level, we can see that the white lines are kind of stacked between. So we have some at the front, some at the back, but this huge one here, really that line is there. So we'll have to watch that level. It might just be there right now to pump the market. Who knows? So yeah, I don't know if I'm actually going to take a trade today with everything that's happened. If we can find a good entry into the longs, if that's the way we decide to go, then that would be awesome. But if we have a really big move overnight and then a really big move during London, then it might be, you know, we might see some choppiness during New York. Obviously, I'm not sitting here predicting what the market's going to do, but just my thought previous and beforehand. And I was able to make one more graphic for my show to come in this section here about my trading rules, but I'm kind of just struggling with OBS right now to add that in. So we'll have that for you guys tomorrow, and you can see all my rules and we can follow them together. All right, so let's take a look at our accounts. What are we looking at? I'm pretty sure now that my one account is only 150 in drawdown. Yeah, so 150. So we got 2 days until the bill resets. So if we find a good trade today, we are going to full size it. I know I keep saying I'm going to full size it, and then I send 1 micro, and then I send 2 micros, but we got to send 3 micros. It's a part of my rules, so if I don't send the 3 micros today, then rule broken, back to 0. You can also take a look at our CVD. So we can see here it's pretty green, which means lots of people are going long, obviously, after that huge pump. But session CVD on NQ is red, even though it's green on both ES and NQ. Sorry, even though it's green on ES. But yesterday we seen that. We seen where the CVD was red on NQ, but then we had that green one on ES. We can take a look back at that trade yesterday, actually. So this was our trade here. We actually had a pretty good take profit. Even though it didn't hit my take profit, it did go up and then come back down. NQ, I noticed, had a lot of SMT, so not really quite sure. Let me check news. I'm sure if we were gonna have news, it would have been at 8:30, but I know this was a news light week. Yeah, okay, so we did have news at 8:30. Let's check that 8:30 candle.
Absorption.
Okay, so here's our, is this our 8:30 candle? 8:31, 8:30, okay, this is our 8:30 candle. So one thing I like to look at for those news candles is, here, let's pull this back up here, is we do tend to take the liquidity from one side and then hit the liquidity from the other, so it's a pretty easy trade. Especially on the 1 minute, I find it works out pretty well. And we did happen to do that today. Yeah, so here's our news candle on NQ. So we made the candle, we swept it, and then we went back down for the other end of the candle. It also leaves us with no data liquidity, which is a pretty strong liquidity level. So one last thing I'm going to check here. Just make sure my VWAPs are good, because I do tend to get fucked by that. Let's see. 729. Okay, pretty good. MES. 7.5. Okay, not bad. It might just be the discrepancy between NQ and ES. So let's just take a quick look here, load up this chart. ES 7.2, it's showing at 6.5 on our book map. So we'll just be cautious of that. So got about 1 minute here to market open. NQ did take our pre-market high, so we still have that pre-market low, and then we have that London high. We don't have any Asia liquidity. We have the Asia open, but I really like to go for the Asia kill zone between 8 and midnight. I find that that offers us a better session liquidity. So we can just take another look at that 4 hour. So yeah, that Asia open is just above that 4 hour. So if we do come down for that and we close below that by 10 a.m., then we'll know that we have inversed this 4 hour fair value gap. However, I'm not expecting much. We already did have some pretty big moves. But I'm just going to do what I always do. Wait for the first 5 minutes, mark out my box. Wait out for the first 15 minutes, mark out my box, and then see how that goes. All right, market's opening. 2 million volume right now. That's pretty on both. Sorry, 12 million volume. Now we're filling. We're pumping orders here. These orders are still here. So let's just see. We might still want to fill that gap. I mean, it won't happen today, but it'll just make us more bearish. And that daily really is turning into my favorite candle, the hammer. All right, let's watch this. Okay, so NQ is building some orders just above and below price. So 660 right here. The orders are coming in. And then between here, we actually have some algos coming in. You can see by that white line. So let's just see what's going to happen. As I said, no heat above, so it's likely we are going to go for this 3-5 level, but when it's an algo order, it's not the best for a TP because it could be pulled. All right, going for 600 now. There's some liquidity there on NQ. Okay, just dump in, let it dump. So we had SMT. As we can see, we made this high here, also on ES. We almost came up to it, not even close on ES. And then we took that pre-market high just before market open. We left it behind on ES, so that's some pretty bearish SMT. But we might be wanting this liquidity here before we decide to go up, or we could just push down through all of that. So what's it hitting here? Let's take a look. Okay, so like yesterday, we have those stacked 15-minute fair value gaps. We have 15, 15, 15. This is the really big imbalance. It's actually just a 1 hour if we look at it. But I'm not a big fan of the 1 hours. I like the 4 and the daily. So about a minute here until we can mark out our first opening range.
Alex TBB said new Apex sale 90% off and 80% after the first month is active again. Sale ends June was. Use code LXTWB.
Okay, about another minute here. We could be reversing, like we could just take one liquidity and go up. When we're bullish, that seems to happen. We take one big liquidity. Pre-market low is not a bad one. Obviously our Asian session is the best one, but we kind of tapped out all that. This is a 7 p.m. candle. The 8 was up here. So our Tokyo open does seem to be holding pretty strong. So let me mark out that level actually. Okay, 4 seconds. Perfect. So let's mark out our 5-minute opening range. And let's see. As you know, generally as we make that 5-minute opening range, we tend to reverse. Not always, but we do tend to reverse, especially after the 15-minute opening range. So let's see, look, we swept this liquidity and we did not close below. We closed below on NQ, but we swept this one and we did not. So let's just see. We still might want to come back for that 3-5 level, which it kind of does look like it, but who knows on that one minute time frame. So on NQ, we're kind of forming a little bit of consolidation. We've got orders above and below price, so 625 and 775. Sorry, 625 and 575, so somewhere between here. So if we do want to take the long at the liquidity sweep, we're going to want to wait for the other 5-minute candle to close. What I like to see of a liquidity sweep is that we take it, we close above, and then the next 5-minute candle closes above, and that's a pretty good indication that we are going to reverse. We can check our fair value gaps, so we can see that we made two. Yeah, so we made a 2-minute, we made 2 1-minutes. We made a 3-minute, possibly forming a 4-minute, and looks like we might form a 5-minute. So already looking good to trade today, actually, with the structure that we're seeing. And our CVD on NQ has turned more red. But ES here is still looking pretty green. Come on. See, now we've got consolidation. And you can see, I don't know if you guys noticed, but when we were coming down,
Sweep NQ sellers.
when we were coming down, we actually didn't have any above price. We only had below. So it worked as a magnet. But now that we have orders consolidating above and below price, then look at what price does. No fair value gaps. So about 2 minutes here until we form another 5-minute candle, and then we can really see if we're going to reverse, but honestly, this just looks like a little bit of a pullback. So we take that liquidity, we pull back, and then we can go for a continuation. So right now NQ is breaking out of that 5-minute range. Oh, excuse you, dog. But we are holding SMT, so NQ is going lower while ES is kind of holding our bullish structure there. Oh, I guess having my accounts up and my bracket orders would be helpful. Okay, so now looking at NQ, not a lot of orders above or below price. We just kind of have what's going on here on ES. So let's look at that 35 level. Actually, the orders below, so you can see that algo order was pulled. So let's see if we want to take it or if now we want to push. But when we look here at the aggressive buy and sells, we can see that they're equal, which also creates consolidation. So 2 million sellers, 2 million buyers. Where's the market going to go? And it's going to go boop, 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 barcode. Okay. So it looks like we are going to close below on the 5-minute. On NQ. Yeah, we had a nice close below. So what we can do now is that's pretty far. We have a 2-minute fair value gap here. All right, let's look. That 2-minute held us pretty good yesterday. If we did want to go down for that Asia open liquidity. So yeah, come up, we tap into that 5 minute, and now we start seeing the sellers come back in. Okay, 2 5-minute candles. So we did close below our liquidity line, so I'm not looking for any type of reversal right now. We could still reverse, but not when we close below. We have to have 2 nice candles like this,
Absorption
2
and Q
wicks.
buyers.
So I'm seeing 550, about 43 orders, and then just a couple above price. That 550 level does look like an algo, and they're coming in actually a lot stronger.
Absorption and Q buyers.
Coming in and being pulled, so. Let's take a look at that 30 seconds, see if we formed any hammer candles.
Sweep and Q sellers.
Nothing really to bark home about. So we're coming down for it. Once those algo orders were pushed, then pulled, then we really did come down. And I find that those orders really serve to move the market. I have a theory on why, but we can talk about that later. All right, so because we closed below, I'm gonna delete this.
Absorption and Q buyers.
I got it to work! Oh, it's just a little bit too big. Okay, incoming. Whee! Alright. I'll make it look nicer for you guys later. But yes, now we got my trading rules, so now you guys can really force that on me. So we broke out, we came back up, but we didn't really form any strong price action as we did. I mean, maybe on a different time frame. That is yeah, okay, we got a nice hammer there, but I don't trade NQ. As you can see by my rules, ES for life. So no type of close below on ES. In fact, actually, NQ looks a lot more bearish than ES. So I'm going to wait until we close that 15 minute to actually chart it out, because it looks like we're just going to dump right now. Okay, so taking that 3-5 level, our point of control is actually moved way down. So this could serve as another type of resistance or VWAP. However, I don't really use it to trade. I just watch it to see what it's going to do. So, okay, so there's that 15-minute candle. Let's mark that out. Perfect. All right. So now we did close below the 5 minute. So let's find ourselves some fair value gaps. Ooh, Okay, we're forming a 5. Kind of early. Kind of early into that 5. Okay, no 4s. No 3s. No 2s. Okay, so no fair value gaps yet. We still got some time until 10 a.m., which really poses the best setups for us. Yesterday I did take my setup at 9:56, but we kind of chopped around for that 5-10 minutes, so I did actually have a couple entries after 10 a.m., but I'm really working on executing right at that entry. Okay, so let's give it another quick look. See, so we took that with sell volume, but I'm not really seeing a setup right now.
Absorption and Q sellers.
Let's just wait for the close below the 15. So we still got a couple more minutes to our next 5-minute candle. Another thing that's really helped my trading is waiting for the candle close to enter. So,
So I've been told that apparently, if you're born in China and immigrate to the States with your single mom, quit your job on Wall Street to build.
so if you can see, let's just take a look at so let's just take a look at this doji here. So at one point, this was a big green candle, and at another point within that minute, it was a big red candle. So it's really tough to know. Well, I find that as if we enter our trade before the candle closes, then really we're just predicting. But if we allow the candle to close and watch that structure, then we actually get much better entries. So look, now Bookmap is forming
Sweep and Q sellers.
lots of heat to the bottom, and we have this little bit of consolidation above. So let's just watch for our candle closes. Let's watch for this liquidity level here, which is not my favorite, but it's still a liquidity level. And we'll see if we actually are going to reverse after forming that 15-minute, which I do notice we do sometimes. So about another 50 seconds here till we have a 5-minute close. So yeah, lots of orders below price. And from just what I can see here, the line is on this side. Same with here, the line's closer to here, and the line's right at the front. So it's unlikely that these are algo orders.
Absorption and Q buyers.
Alright, 15 seconds until we form that 5-minute, which we're definitely going to close below, but that will also give us a 5-minute fair value gap here. So we can use this as an entry, especially since it does align with our 5 and 15-minute opening range. Sometimes when we are super bearish or super bullish, we just get like a tiny close below and then a retest like here. As you can see, tiny close below and a retest. However, I've lost a few times. Not that I've lost, like obviously you lose, but I've found that that if there's no displacement, then the retracement doesn't always mean something. So 25 here is pretty strong. Here's the line, so it's just buy stops. So let's just wait. Okay, so we took this liquidity, and it does seem to be holding. We did get a close below on that 5 minute, but also I front run my liquidity levels. So if we want to really get in there, this is the open, then we can put it down here, and we likely did not close below it. Yeah, see, we're holding it. So this could be our reversal, because we closed above, we opened above, but now, oh, let's check our 5 minute fair value gaps. Okay, so we just have this one here. Now we're coming back for it. Let's watch. Oh, I don't have my little saying. I'm actually gonna just put that on the thing. One minute. Oh, come on, you fucking retard. Come on. There we go. So let's see, is this the reversal or is this the continuation? We'll find out when we see what this candle does. Oh, that's going pretty strong. Still about 30 seconds on that candle, so we could turn into a hammer. However, I'm seeing pretty strong buy volume. Oh, okay, I'm getting ready. This looks good. I am getting friggin' ready. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Look at that one. Okay, this candle turns red, I'm in. But if it doesn't turn red, then fuck it. Okay, kind of looking better. More sellers on NQ. It's about equal on ES. And we do still have this heat down here, so it could bring us down, but I'm not gonna go short on this candle. What I like to do is wait for the candle close, we have a hammer, and then as we start forming the next candle and going down, then I will get in, but if we form the and just pump, fuck it, I'm not doing that. So we have about another 50 seconds here until this candle closes, so we could still close below. But however, it is really looking like we're gonna get that reversal. The 2 5 minutes that close above our liquidity level. So we might be looking for longs. Let's just wait for that candle to close. 25 seconds. We might also want to retrace to the first 5 minute fair value gap, which is up here. I'm just going to add that into my OBS tomorrow. So the first 5 minute, which is here. 1 second. Okay, we closed way above that 5 minute. Alright, let's look for a pullback and let's get in long. So this looks good. Look, liquidity level, which we front run, so our liquidity level is actually down here. 2 closes above. We have this candle that's engulfing, and then now we are retracing to go up. So, all right, I'm gonna get in. No, we actually didn't tap into any fair value gaps, but we do. We don't have any fair value gaps. Maybe I got a little too excited there. Oh, I'm supposed to send my full size. The plumber. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so we got about a $75 stop on this. Not too bad. But we do have a pretty good confirmation of a reversal, so let's hold this. Goddamn. You could just stop me out in a second. Of course, and everything is lagging. Alright, well that's not looking good at all for me. Alright.
Sweep NQ sellers. Absorption NQ buyers.
What did we do? Did we trade trace to a 5-minute? Oh, I guess I got that one wrong. Oh well, whatever. Fuck it. Guess I just got a little excited there. And I did not take my notes.
Sweep NQ sellers. Absorption NQ buyers.
So no new trades until our notes are filled. Come on. There we go. Went long on this candle. Immediately got stopped out. Oh, I should have taken a picture of that 5-minute.
Sweep NQ buyers. Absorption NQ sellers.
That's all right. So yeah, look, we retraced to that 5-minute and then we dumped. So we didn't hit it on yes.
Sweep NQ sellers. Absorption NQ buyers.
All right, so what are we seeing? I am seeing
Sweep NQ buyers.
oh,
Absorption NQ sellers.
yeah, there was an algo here. Okay, 10 a.m. Get a little volatility, see how that goes. All right, so let's just take a look at what we can see here. So we hit this liquidity, we closed above, and then we pumped up to that 5 minute, which is within our 15-minute range. And then we're kind of going down now. We had already taken this liquidity here. So if we're really gonna dump, we'll just dump right through it. However, I'm not seeing, like, we've got this heat here. But I don't know what it means yet. All right. So we also do have the close above us on the 1 minutes, but we do tend to find fake outs there. So I really like to look at the 5 minute. So 550. We've got orders coming in. Hello? Just give me 1 second. Good. Oh, good. How are you? Mm-hmm. Oh, what's really good? Oh. Oh, wow, good job. Sure. Yes. Well, how do you drink something? Yeah, okay, well, don't tell people, just when we when yeah, sure. Okay, I gotta go. All right, so down from one trade, went long at the top after 2 5-minute closes above our liquidity level, but we were in a 5-minute fair value gap. So let's just see what the market wants to do.
Sweep NQ sellers. Absorption NQ buyers.
So yeah, we're forming heat here. All these orders are coming in. So between 9:25 and 9:20.
Absorption NQ buyers. Absorption
We're looking
ES
at
buyers.
NQ. We did have. All right. So I'm just gonna wait here. We're gonna see. So this level on Bookmap really aligns with our Asia Open. Not my favorite liquidity. Not my favorite liquidity. However, we do seem to be moving towards that now. I see I have a message in the chat, but I don't know how to view that. I did have it pulled up earlier, but whatever you're saying, hello. So let me take a look. Alright, so now we're coming down for that Asia low. We took all of our liquidity here with sell volume. I kind of messed up my trade today. As I was looking, as I kind of enjoyed the way that these closed above, maybe for a bit of a recovery. What I did miss was the fair value gap, so took a bit of a loss. Not too worried about getting that back, just more worried about, well, just more focusing on sticking to my rules. So now as we're dumping past this liquidity level, okay, so really what I wanted to look for, yeah, there we go. And my 4 hours are weird on here. I really wanted to see if we were going to close below this 4 hour fair value gap at 10. We'll have to use TradingView to figure that one out. Because on my broker, the 4 hour candles are from like 5:30 to 9:30. When I know it's from 6 to 10. So let's just take a little look here. And MNQ. So no, okay, one more minute because my trading view is behind, but it looks like we are gonna close below that 4 hour fair value gap. Ugh, what time did I take my trade at? Let's see. 9:57, so just before 10. So, thinking back, what I could have done was I could have waited for that 4 hour to close, because look, we are closing below that for sure. And then that will really give us our bearish sentiment. Maybe we'll come for the gap, who knows? And I don't know how you guys feel, but I really prefer trading bearish trends than bullish trends. So we got some heat below us right now on NQ, around here. And if we take a look, the white line is closer to the left. Closer to the right. So it could be an algo order there, and then we're seeing some heat come in here. So right now we're stuck between consolidation. This really would have been the move. So we come up, we come into the 5 minute on NQ right here. we reject, we rejected, out of the 5 minute, out of the 15. And then you could really take an entry here. Also too, it came back in for the 1 minute fair value gaps, which we use during silver bullet hour. So I don't know if I'm going to take another trade today, actually. I guess if we look at my rules of personal execution error and I'm out, looking at those 2 5 minutes, I don't know if it would have been personal execution error, but I did jump in. I didn't wait for a red candle to go up. I actually got in on this candle and then all in 1 minute. So let's see what happens here. 5, 9, 10. Oh, give me 1 minute. I have a plumber coming. Coming. And I have returned. Alright. So close below, but we do front run our liquidity, so let's just see. Yeah. I'm still seeing consolidation here. And lots of heat below on NQ. And that's my landlord. All right, we're just gonna watch. So we're coming back, look, here, 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 all below price. So this here could really serve to push us down. Shh, come here, look, come here. Look, come here, hi puppy. It's okay. So we will not be fooled by this again. It's just a joke. Let's just check it out. That's a little better. The downside here. Yeah, so okay, so we closed below it. We closed above it. So let's see what happens here. Alright, so if we really want to take that reversal again, we we gotta watch for our level. We gotta watch for the closes above. So yeah, there's that Asia open. Let's see what the 15-minute looks like. But I don't know if I'm gonna go for a reversal today. So look, we had these orders above price. We've taken it with buy volume. So what those were sell orders. And as we come up and we eat them, then we got these little buy bubbles that are just digesting all that. Seeing a little SMT with NQ where we have, look, these aggressive sellers coming in, so it's unlikely it's a reversal. This is more just a pullback for a continuation down. But really, I feel like I missed my entry here. I misread the market. I looked for the reversal instead of the continuation. And we had a very nice candle there for an entry. A very nice candle for an entry and all the way down to our liquidity, so. But since I'm focusing on my rules, then I am not gonna chase anything. If I have to take a loss today, then I will take my loss and I'll come back tomorrow.
At Wayfair, we're game for every style.
Let's play charades.
Look, we form a 5-minute fair value gap. We come to this liquidity level. We take it. We chop around. Tap into the 5-minute. And then we can still go further. I do not have any lower liquidity marked out, though. I know there was one huge imbalance there. Yeah, so this would be our next liquidity level, which is the swing low on the 1 hour. And then we have another liquidity level here. But really not too much of an entry for me. So we are forming SMT2, NQ, and ES, but we are displacing that now. So in hindsight, this was a pretty easy day. However, I had a little bit of a wrong read on this 5-minute. So let's just see what we're taking here. Well, we're hitting another 15-minute fair value gap. But look, we had 1, 2, 3 15 minutes that we just destroyed. Now we can take a look at our 4-hour on NQ. Yeah, so that 10 a.m. candle, we really reversed. So bring on the gap fill. So look, lots of heat below us. 510, 10, 05, 900. So I really feel like we're going to come down. But now it's just our discipline to just sit and watch. Anyway, you know what? We'll take a note of this actually. Go. So let's see. Let's put our date. Perfect. Oh, it doesn't show my notes anymore because I'm not showing my screen. Oh, I'll show you guys my notes after. So if we came down to that 510 level, just so the orders were, must have been just below. All right. So look, we broke. Let's just see what the 5 minute looks like on this. It's not clean at all. Yeah, just really dumped through that. And now look, so as we're coming down, selling, buyers, selling, buyers, selling, buyers, just over and over again. About 30 seconds on that candle. But it seems to be a really strong buyer's hold on NQ2. And we don't have much SMT, actually. We are trading the same. But then look, now we're forming consolidation. The CBD on NQ is very red. Very red. Kinda, it's still green on ES, but it's very red on NQ. So maybe this is the liquidity that we wanted. Who knows? maybe we're gonna retrace to here. Take those cells and go down. So we have cells stacked here, so it's probably people saying, oh, if we're gonna retrace to here, then I'm gonna go down. Which is fair. Just not my entry. Also, I find that if I miss my entry, then I get extreme FOMO. So I went back over all my notes, and the days that I missed my entries were the days that I took losses. If my setup doesn't show and I don't take my trade, then I'm fine. But if I'm watching and I somehow miss it, then that sparks something in me to go in to take 1 loss, 2 loss. So very good to be mindful of. And that's also why I like to take my notes, because then you really have that data to go back. So we can sit here on our computer and we can trade, and we'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many, 7 trades, and then we win or we lose, and then we go on with our day. But really, what do we have to show us what's going on? I find the data is very important, and the more that I track my data and the more that I review my data, really allows me to find confidence in my setups and find confidence in who I am, and also find the confidence that I can curb my bad habits. And I don't know about you guys, but confidence has been one of my biggest struggles as a trader. But I find that the more that I lose and the more that I have losing weeks and losing months and I keep coming back every day, then the more that those losses don't bother me. Like right now I took that loss. I see that it was a really dumb error on my part, a misread. My bias was bearish. I was waiting for that 4-hour fair value gap close below, but I took the trade before that 4-hour fair value gap. I went in the opposite direction, and then all in one candle came down on me, and then we got my perfect entry. So I took my notes for today, still within my rules. Oh, all right.